Hello, KBC. My name is Patrick O'Neill. So I'm joining Pastor Brian in the Thoughts from Home series. So as we journey through this strange time of COVID-19, I think about how all-consuming it's been. We get up in the morning, we watch the news, or we listen to the news, or we read the news. Throughout the day, we check and get updates. And at night, we watch the news. Our conversations with friends and coworkers all revolve around COVID-19. What are the stats? How many cases? How many deaths? Predictions on how many deaths there will be. How long will it last? When will things be normal again? Or will they be normal again? What will life be like after COVID-19? I can't help but think there have been other times in history that have been all-consuming as this has. You know, they talk about this COVID-19 as being similar to fighting a war. So I think of World War II. World War II was 6 years long. 6 years. In the early days of World War II, I'm sure people had discussions about how long it would last, how many people would die, and in the end, who would win. Hopefulness on who would win. You know, a big difference between World War II and COVID-19 is our access to information. We get it up to date every minute. Back then, you had to wait for the newspaper to come out the next day. So I want to use a word that I just chose a moment ago, and that's hopefulness. I know there are many people out there who are worried. There's fear. Fear that you will fall ill. Fear that a loved one would fall ill. Fear of financial stability, losing one's job, whether or not you would have enough money for retirement. So I'm not here to preach, but I'm sure you all know the most frequent command in the Bible is fear not. God commands us not to fear. So we should not fear COVID-19, nor the aftershocks of it. 1 John 4:18 says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear." Perfect love. In the 1950s, a psychologist by the name of Harry Harlow conducted various experiments on maternal separation, social isolation, or maybe social distancing. He did a lot of his work with monkeys. One type of experiment involved placing baby monkeys with surrogate mothers. And when I say surrogate, I mean the surrogate mothers were inanimate objects. One made of bare wire, and one covered in terry cloth. The one made of wire provided the food. The baby monkey would spend no time with that surrogate mother other than to get its food, but would spend all of its time with the terry cloth mom, cuddling and touching it. But then a further experiment involved introducing a threat to the monkey. A robotic looking toy with scary eyes and banged and made lots of noise. In the times when there was no terry cloth mom around, the monkeys would cower in fear. Otherwise, the monkey would run to the terry cloth mom, hide behind it for protection. But then after a little bit of time, the monkey would become brave and start chattering back to the scary looking toy. No fear. Fear was gone. Perfect love cast out fear. So, you see, we need not be afraid. We have something so much greater than the terry cloth mom to protect us. A friend of mine was out for a walk a couple of weeks ago and saw this written on a driveway. An expression he uses in times like these. This too shall pass. COVID-19 is not what we should fear, because it will pass. Other trials will come and they too will pass. In fact, the heaven and this earth as we know it will pass. Revelation 21:1, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea." And here's the best part. Revelation 21:4, "He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." So fear not, my friends. This will pass, and eternity with our Savior awaits.